Afternoon to a few, and a hearty welcome to. I'm sorry, with all this sweltering heat and discomfort, we have tried to make this room at least a little bit more comfortable with the air conditioning, and therefore, I hope the air conditioning itself will be able to sustain itself for the period of this workshop, because the power fluctuations are very heavy in the university. City, but small introduction, because most of us know each other. I'm not very sure whether we need get into the boring aspect of each one telling about himself. So we get Prasad is the keynote speaker, the former director of NAC, very well versed at Open University, and vice chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University. With this huge experience, we thought that he would be the best person to deliver the keynote address this afternoon. And we have quite a good number of participants online. We have 23 participants coming in person and another 23 participants online, a total of 46 participants, which is by our own means, no mean effort to get so many people together on the same platform at the same time. Thank you very much. I give the floor to Professor A.H. Caldo. He's the chairman of the tax committee. The tax committee administers the whole tax process. He's been the leader of this and the guidance for this whole program.
Good afternoon to all the esteemed persons present here. I would like to add my word of welcome that of Mr. Ramakrishna, who has been the soul behind this whole activity, making all the arrangements that we are going through. A little bit louder. Okay, I try. But first of all, before I make any remarks or observations, I'm really delighted to welcome today Professor B.S. Prasad, who very kindly, gracefully agreed to be our chief guest today and deliver the keynote address. Our president, who unfortunately traveled to Hyderabad for various reasons, including, I understand, visa problems, but who is also present with us online. I also want to extend a special welcome to Christophe and John Baptist, who have traveled all the way from Belgium to be with us today. We really value this long association that we have with AMDISA. And from the very beginning, I won't talk about it right now. Probably Mr. Padam will have something to say in his address. And I'm personally also delighted to meet Christophe after I don't know how many years it has been. We met online, but never got this opportunity to meet each other in person. There are many eminent personnel present here, people who you all know, and who have had a major role to play in furthering our objectives of AMDISA and SAQS. And I thank each and every one for being present here, both in person and online. I was being asked, both in the SAQS committee and elsewhere, as to why do we want to have this kind of workshop? Why do we want to get together? And sometimes people also remark that we're meeting the same people. They are the ones who are going to address us. What is new? And I must start by telling you there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing new. And newness is essentially how we remind ourselves about the purpose for which we are part of this august body and how we contribute to SAQS and the accreditation system, which has moved from strength to strength over the last couple of decades. With most of the progress happening in the last 5-6 years. I don't want to bore you with statistics, but we have now close to 100 institutions who are part of the SAQS process, either have been accredited, re-accredited, re-accredited, or are through the process of accreditation for the first time, and who are under consideration for admission to the process, and whom we are also persuading to be part of our system. So there has been substantial progress, and we need to basically have a common understanding about our philosophy, our processes, and our people who are partners with us in this effort. Because to begin with, historically, even there were no regulators. The regulators came in all countries. Some regulators are more than 100 years old, some are 75 years old, and some are even less than that. And a natural corollary to the presence of regulators in the system was bodies which actually accredit institutions. And we probably think that accreditation came up in the late 19th century, early 20th century. Our accreditation bodies in this part of the world are even younger. I don't want to talk about the exact number of years, but I've also had a long association with both NBA and to some extent NAC. NBA came into existence as far as management education is concerned only in the 90s. We're young. We're young like the country. And as far as SAQS is concerned, we're less than 25 years. So we're not toddlers, we're not children, but we are still in our youth, trying to build momentum in the manner in which we contribute to quality of education, higher education, especially management as far as we're concerned, and also quality assurance. We will have some time to talk about these as we proceed further. And we thought that it's very, very useful to remind ourselves about our basics. And we tend to easily forget what we may have read several years ago in the handbook that Mr. Ramakrishnan has produced so beautifully and are available to all of us, either in printed form or in soft copy, mostly in soft copy. Please forgive me for saying this, but I know for sure many of us have not read them fully. Or probably most of us have not even read them fully. And some of us who read these 7, 8 years ago have even forgotten some of the content. And that even includes me. So I keep reminding Mr. Ramakrishnan, please tell me what our handbook says on this. And when I think about wanting to go to the SAQS committee, the SAQS coordination committee, or the local management committee for doing something, he says, why are you doing it? It's already there. But I said, then why were we prevented from doing it? We didn't prevent you. It's the way you have interpreted what is written. And that's a fact. I don't want to challenge anybody to tell me what clause 3.8.2 says in handbook number 2 or 3. But even I, who along with Mr. Ramakrishna, Joshi, Dr. Padam, and before that, Mr. Rao, we're spending a lot of time on some of these activities. We need to refresh our memories. And more important than refresh our memory is to develop a common understanding of the purpose, our process, and what we seek to achieve in the full exercise. And of late, we've been having sometimes difficulties in putting together teams to support our work. Some of us are octogenarians, those who need people to come and support this effort, which is something else I would earnestly request our eminent colleagues present here to help us do. And simultaneously, as we talk during this session and the next one tomorrow morning, we will also be able to identify what are some of the very serious challenges that we must conscious of and address within prescribed time frames. Because we do not have the luxury of time on our side. And I'm saying we are not in competition with anyone. By SAQS, truly proud. With these remarks, I welcome you all again and sincerely look forward to active participation, your thoughts, your advice, and indeed, a little slice of your wisdom. Thank you very much. It is my pleasure now to also thank our president, Professor Mohan. The moment I don't see you.
I'm here.
Yeah, good. Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
It's a pleasure to see you and we look forward to meeting you soon.
Inshallah.
I request you to address all of us and share your thoughts.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon, esteemed colleagues from all over the region. A very good afternoon to you all. And it's really a pleasure to be able to speak in front of you. It is absolutely an honor to address the esteemed gathering of AMDISA peer review training session. As the president of AMDISA, I have been working with few of our colleagues here for the last 2.5 years. And also as the director of Institute of Business Administration, I've been working almost 3 years plus with many of our colleagues here for our own SAQS accreditation. I'll share some of the experience that we have had during our journey of having the accreditation done at IBA. It was almost a year-long process, and it's not only accreditation gave us a transformation at IBA, it actually helped us many other ways beyond the tangible outcomes, such as the enhancement of stakeholders' trust and the global recognition. And the process has actually sparked a cultural introspective and an innovation within our own institution. The accreditation journey required us to do a meticulous review of ourselves, and engagement with the stakeholders. At IBA, this process spanned over a year and involved more than 50 stakeholders. The IBA accreditation process was held by one of our mentor, and that mentorship actually helped us in finding and in soul searching many of the things that we otherwise wouldn't have realized. It has served as a catalyst for institutional excellence. It has prompted us to re-evaluate our curriculum, pedagogy, and the research endeavor to ensure alignment with the global best practices by benchmarking ourselves against international standards. We strive to offer our students an education that is not only academically rigorous, but also globally relevant and future-proof. Moreover, the self-assessment process catalyzes strategic planning for each dimension, guiding us towards a future-oriented approach. With the guidance of the mentor, we embark on a journey with a clear sense of direction and purpose. The 3-day from the peer review team, the PRT team we call, was conducted by local and international experts. During their visit, it provided us invaluable insight and recommendations. Whether you are actually granted an accreditation or not, the process itself is a rewarding process to begin with. We had engaged with all the stakeholders starting from the alumni, our employers, our other bodies that we engage with, for example, the government, our various committees, and students, current students, past students, etc. And this was a 3-day journey which opened many facets that were probably not looked at the way it was looked at in those 3 days. The benefits from the SAQ accreditation extends far beyond mere recognition. It serves as a stamp of quality, a trust among the stakeholders, and increases and enhances the credibility for our students. And also, an accreditation enhances the opportunities and acceptance in renowned academic institutions worldwide. Moreover, it amplifies our reputation beyond national borders, facilitating collaboration with esteemed business schools globally. Crucially, accreditation underscores our commitment to continuous improvement, compliance requirement, including interim reports and reaccreditation every 5 years, ensuring that quality enhancements requires a perpetual endeavor. As we reflect on our academic accreditation journey, we are also reminded that excellence is not a destination but a continuous pursuit. While we celebrate our achievements, we remain humble in the face of new challenges and opportunities on the horizon. With this unwavering dedication and steadfast commitment to quality, IBA is poised to embark on the next phase of the journey towards academic excellence and societal impact. As the president of AMDISA, I would like to highlight few of the achievements of SAQS accreditation. So far, 31 schools have been granted accreditation, 1 from Bangladesh, 26 from India, 4 from Pakistan. And 10 schools have been re-accredited, 9 from India and 1 from Pakistan. 60 senior academic administrators have been trained at various workshops. Association with Indian University, New Delhi, has accepted AMDISA's Quality Assurance Program SAQS as at par with NBA accreditation for according equivalence to 2-year full-time PDG and MBA degree in Indian universities. Having said that, so I would like to conclude by saying that this will be an experience for all of us, and there will be a lot of exchanges, and I look forward to learn from my peers and my colleagues here as a reviewer to be myself, and I'm looking forward to this wonderful 2-day training session. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of this August gathering. Thank you.
Very much for the moment. I now request Dr. Joshi. Here we go.
Professor Prasad, Professor Kandro, my dear friends and this is SAQS accreditation and the quiz. They are the sisters. Because in case of SAQS also, and in case of quiz also, the process is never compromised. Though growth is slow but sustained. Similar situation is prevailing in Europe. And as AFMD and here AMDISA, we don't compromise as far as quality is concerned. There are several experiences, because principles, processes, and practice. These are three key aspects of any accreditation. As Professor Kaldro has rightly mentioned in the beginning, principles, people they read once and they forget it. Processes, they build to suit their convenience, the convenience of the regulators, and the convenience of the other stakeholders. And that leads to some kind of entropy. And this, for addressing this entropy, the role of mentor, role of peer review team is extremely important. But I must mention at this stage that there were some problems also as far as peer review teams are concerned. And to solve those problems, there was a Herculean task that Professor Kaldro and we have to deal with that. Ultimately, we were able to overcome that. Some issues relating to the behavioral aspect. And behavioral aspect as far as peer review team members are concerned, that should be given, I would say, maximum emphasis, and the boundaries needs to be fixed. And these boundaries should be always with reference to the principles and processes. Because if we once read the principles, evolve the processes to suit the convenience, then there are problems relating to the practice. And when PRT goes there, there are some more issues are at in the past. I think same situation might be happening at AFMD level also. But the human beings, many times there are ego issues. Then there are some issues that they are very rigid on certain items. They will say that according to us, this should be like this. But they forget the spirit of accreditation. Accreditation is a continuous process of learning and improving the quality at various stages. So this kind of workshops, peer review team workshop, peer review work is extremely important. AMDISA has been organizing such workshop, and such workshops are really refreshing our mind, and that gives an impetus for the better understanding of these principles, process, and the practices. With I think we will continue our deliberation further. Thank you very much, Professor Kalro, for giving me this opportunity.
Very much, Dr. Joshi. It's my great pleasure to welcome Professor Prasad to deliver his notification. Please be comfortable. A person like me has a habit of standing and speaking, and I feel very uncomfortable sitting and speaking. This is because of more than 55, 60 years of experience in classrooms. We've always stood, spoken.
Professor Kalra and very distinguished online and offline participants. Good afternoon to all of you. Let me start by thanking Mr. Ramakrishna for inviting me particularly for this program. When he invited me, I was very hesitant because we are all experts and very experienced persons, deputy members. I was in NAC from 2003 to 8. I left the NAC 15 years back. I'm not been doing any new things. After listening to Professor Kalra, when he said, there's nothing new, we may be repeating the things only. So I got some confidence that I can repeat some of my experiences. It may be of some relevance to you. If they are of relevance to you, you please take note of it, otherwise we fine. Yes. Let me also congratulate this SAQS for this initiative. Why I'm saying this is, present thinking is, in the new education policy, Government of India is thinking of creating National Accreditation Agency, National Accreditation Council, NAC, as one of the 4 verticals. And this vertical is expected to recognize assessment and accreditation agencies in the country. The assumption is 1 or 2 assessment and accreditation agencies in the public sector. In 1994, 2 assessment agencies were established in the public sector. NAC is one and NBA is another. We have 30 years of experience. That experience shows that these 2 or 3 agencies are not sufficient. We must have more agencies also. And professional bodies must be encouraged to establish assessment agencies. So I'm very happy that SAC is already engaged in that, and it is recognized by AU also as one of the equivalent to NBA. And I would like to congratulate the SAC for this purpose. And I expect the SAC to play a more important role in future years also, because if National Accreditation Council comes, maybe more and more agencies, and you have to play a very important role. Then when Mr. Ramakrishna invited me, I was wondering on what topic or what aspects I can focus. I thought that, you see, I can share some of my concerns, because one of the concerns is, as you know, as all of you know, in the quality assessment, there are 2 methods. One is an internal system of quality assessment by the institutions, and second is an external assessment by external agencies. Today, it is very important. And only during the last 30 years, the system is in operation. The question is generally raised, the first question is, what is the quality assessment agencies? Or what is the quality? This is the concept. So in order that I can share, when I was working in the NAC also, a professor from American University, as you know, is very critical of external assessment system. It has a long history of external. Compared to any country, it has a long history. But some of the professors, some of the universities in America, and he said, what is needed? Save the quality from quality assessors. This is a very critical observation. We were a quality assessment. In the NAC also, people will be asking when we are assessing quality of the institutions, particularly very reputed institutions. Now they have come into the orbit of NAC. But some of the institutions, I know that in Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU, or in Delhi University, particularly Delhi and Jawaharlal Nehru University professors, they say, what is NAC and how you can assess us? We know everything. We know what is to be taught and how it is taught. How you can assess us? These are some of the questions which we have addressed. This is a questions of all quality assurance agencies. So I would like to make only 2 observations. One is,
when we are looking at the quality of quality assessment, what is the benchmark for assessing the quality of quality assessment? To me, the benchmark is the purpose of quality assessment should be the benchmark. The benchmark for assessing the quality of quality assessment agencies activities is the purpose of assessment. What is called as a international network of quality assurance agencies in higher education, Inaugural. It has almost worldwide organization, 300 members are there. This INCO has developed some what is called as the objectives of an external assessment activities. I would like to share with you these objectives. The quality assessment by PET, the PET members who are participating in that process, must be aware of these objectives of external assessment activity. That clarity, let me quote these 4 objectives, goals of any external quality assessment agency. Before fundamental assumptions of external assessments. One is quality and quality assurance are primarily the responsibility of higher education institutions themselves. The second one is the academic autonomy and integrity of the institutions are to be. And the third one is the assessment standards are subject to consultation with stakeholders. And the fourth one is the aim of external assessment to quality and accountability of institutions. These are the 2 objectives of quality assessment by external agencies. When I'm for these 4 fundamental goals, maybe all peer team members must be aware of these 4 fundamental goals. All our activities must be guided by these fundamental goals. When we come to the quality of assessment process, there are 2 dimensions in the quality of assessment process. One dimension is the dimension of methodology. Second dimension is the methodology. Second dimension is the application of this methodology, and we are following the method application. Peer team approach we are following. The peer team means it is an assessment by our own people. This is how we look at the peer team approach. There may be other approaches of assessment, but we are following the peer team approach. So these 2 dimensions, one is the dimension of methodology, another is the peer team activity. In the first dimension of methodology, the concerns of all quality assessment agencies internationally, the 2 concerns, are we assessing the right things? Are we assessing in right ways? These are the 2 concerns of all international assessment or national assessment agencies. NAC also continuously during the last 30 years, 5-6 times, the NAC methodology changed. 5-6 times, I'm saying 5-6 times. In 94, when the methodology was adopted, actually in 95. They started assessing from 96 or 95. So then after 5-6 years, then the methodology, if you see, we started with the methodology of a 9 parameters, a 9-point grading system, and 10 parameters, a 9-point grading system. Later on, it was reduced to the 7-point grading system. And at one time, we have reduced in 2007, we reduced it to 3-point ABC only, 3-point grading system. Later on, it was increased to 5-point grading system, now 7-point grading system. Recently now, that means coming from June, they wanted to see that as a binary system. That means accredited, not accredited. Why I'm saying all these things is, the quality assessment agencies are continuously in search of appropriate methods of quality assessment. As all of us know that assessing an educational institution activity, education itself, assessing is a very difficult activity, particularly in measuring the quality of education. Sometimes you see the Professor Rao is sharing, if you are assessing the research, sometimes you try to assess the research by number of research publications. Proper way of assessing the research. Like that, anyway, also, there are some issues in that methodology itself. So continuously, any quality assessment agency must be engaged in that. The second important dimension of that quality of assessment is the peer team and its activity. Professor very rightly emphasized the importance of the peer team activities. See, because when I'm looking at the whole question of the peer team and its activities, it is a very important dimension. Ensure the activities and peer team role is very effective and very important role they are expected to institutions. Here comes to my mind when we are looking at the peer team, in the NAC experience also, sometimes people say that the NAC grading depends upon, and somebody ends up saying that NAC grading depends upon not how you perform as an institution, but how you look after the NAC team. See, this is all, this type of criticisms are there in the, not only NAC I'm talking, maybe NBA, or maybe any assessment agencies also, international field also. See, this is the question. So that's why the peer team, to me, there are 3 or 4 aspects which the peer team must take into account, or members of the peer team must take into account to play your role very effectively. You are, first of all, I'm only wondering, what is motivating the professors to become a member of the peer team? What motivates them is also a question. Sometimes, you see, maybe they are motivated by their desire to make a contribution to the development of management education, or share their experiences, or you see, contribute by helping examining the working of the institutions. These are some of the noble desires. Sometimes there may be, as human beings, all of us may have, sometimes when I ask them, why do you, when I was director, a lot of pressure on me from my colleagues to be in. I asked them, why do you want to be a member of the peer team? No, sir, I have not visited Northeast every time. Northeast team. See, this is the type of it. They want to visit those places also. This is a human nature also. Okay, if you want to visit Northeast and say, I put you in the Northeast team, but forget visit you at all those things also, but also be aware. You are expected to play some role, and whatever role you play, if that role is not a honorable role, it will affect the honor of the NAC, not your honor. Your honor is at stake, it is left to you. But it affects the honor of the institution also. That is very, very important. So here, 4 aspects I think all peer team members must take note of it. To me, with my experience, one is thorough knowledge of assessment system. When you are a member of the assessment peer team, the thorough knowledge of assessment system is very, very important. What is the assessment system? How grading is to be done, or how the report is to be written, and how the guidance is to be provided to the institution. There's a whole methodology. SAQS has developed its own methodology. Why I'm saying is, some of the members of the NAC teams, we get replies, they get reports from the institutions. Sometimes they go there without reading any NAC report or self-study report or any NAC methodology also. They simply go there and try to ask some questions. Okay, if you go there, you are on the other side of the table, you can ask it. Institutions also are afraid of saying anything very relevant question. They can't say it also because they are more interested in getting a good grade. Okay, let him ask any questions. Okay, let us listen to him. They know that. But why I'm saying is this peer team members must be thorough with the methodology of the institution. SAQS has some methodology and expectations of your role and all those things. This is the first thing. That's why SAQS conducts many training programs, orientation programs, or interaction sessions. Is that the purpose? The second important dimension is the objectivity and impartiality. This is all of us as human beings, we have our own subjective understanding of things, and there is an objective understanding of the things. Gunnar Bitter long back wrote a book on objectivity in social research. He said, we have to be subjectively objective. We are all subjective in our own understanding. We have to be subjectively objective. I think you see, Amartya Sen put it in a different way. He said, positional objectivity. What is that positional objectivity? You have a methodology. Your methodology is the subjective methodology. In a sense, it's a subjective methodology. Suppose it gives some scores to some criteria, some parameters. So that methodology is a subjective methodology. And that methodology, you must objectively implement it. That methodology, you have to objectively implement it. So the impartiality and objectivity is a very difficult thing. So all of us have our own likes and dislikes also. We think that it should be done in this way only. In the NAC, our experience also, sometimes some of the peer team members, when they go to the institutions, they on the institutions. Their own unfulfilled the expectations, unfulfilled pleasures. Sometimes the concerns of the academic institution. They try to they will not be able to do in their own institution. They become a members of the peer team and they go to the institution and they say, no, you have to do like this only. Like this. So the objectivity and impartiality when I'm talking, you have to SAQS methodology as your foundation, as your basis. That is the foundation. You can be subjective to that extent. You can be subjective because when the next methodology is wrong, if our methodology is wrong, you have a freedom to say that about methodology. Applying the methodology. Feedback and next NAC or in the next we will change it or we will discuss about it. So we have to see that activity and impartiality is very, very important. This is the second important aspect. The third important aspect is the communication of the peer teams. There are professors in the classroom sometimes who are very comfortable in the classroom. But we may not be that comfortable in the outside the class. It's also one problem we find those who are very good in their own disciplines, when we appoint them as a peer member, their interaction ability with the larger community is very limited. You must have that communication abilities in that way. The probing abilities, particularly the probing ability. In the probing, I think it's the some word I have forgotten, very intimidating, sometimes it's the some of the probings are very intimidating by the peer team members. What you have to probe is this: yes, you have some understanding, maybe better understanding. But how do you communicate that to them? And what type of questions you ask them to elicit the required information? So that is all you see. So important. The whole process of this assessment and accreditation, because it is a peer team based in the operation of the through personal interest, or is the we have to be very open and make explicit some of these things also. That is also very, very important. So, the peer team is when we are doing, we understand our strengths and also our limitations. Peer team has its own strengths. Judgment by an academic is always a better way of assessing the institution than any quantitative methodology. Personally, I feel judgment by a good academic of institution's activity is a better way of understanding the quality of an institution than a quantitative methodology of assessment. The quantitative optics, is also a great illusion also in the quantitative also. So how many papers you have published, how many working days you have, and how many students pass in the examination. Some of the institutions also use all more and more. They want to see that the success rate also is very important in assessment. So these are some of the things. That's why I think, I remember it is Abdul Kalam, he came the decillion celebrations of the NAC. Then he was referring to academics are expected. But unfortunately, we are judging things by appearances. This is what he said. That is all what is we are expected to judge the appearances. Suppose you show that we are doing all these things as an academic, we are expected to judge these appearances. But unfortunately, we are judging things by appearances. If it looks very good, that's why in the NAC also some people say that when the NAC visit is there, we are spending lakhs and lakhs of rupees for internal beautification of the campus and the internal structures and other things. It is not the physical structure that is very important. More important is what you are doing as an academic institution. That is very, very important. So the peer team, it must keep its eyes open and able to see what is not visible, ears open and able to hear what is not audible. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
You should all thank Mr. Prasad for an enlightening address. And I'm sure each one of us present here would have sincerely realized the ultimate truth of what he had said. And I didn't want to say in the beginning about what is new. The new is how we learn, what we learn. Of course, Professor Prasad has based and we respect it. And we want to learn from every system so that our system achieves the ultimate purpose for which we are administrators. So thank you again, Professor Prasad, and we look forward to more interaction and learning on what it means to share with everyone the key points that you have given today. So with this address, we come to an end with our first inaugural session.